Welcome to the Scarves and Spikes, the match reaction podcast. I was to look back at Atlanta United's 4-3 win, Tyler, over New York City FC, NYCFC. What are they called now? NYCFC, New York City FC.
The team that got beat by Atlanta?
The team that had a 3-1 lead over Atlanta United, but blew a 3-1 lead in the second half. The one match, Tyler, you did not attend. You're not there for.
I'm not going to be welcome at the bins anymore.
Insane. You need to stay away. Stay the heck away from this stadium, from the stadium. If that's what's going to happen.
The writing is on the wall.
Welcome back.
You're welcome.
We appreciate your assistance and your help, but we won't need you around the stadium anymore. But yeah, this is our match reaction podcast. We're doing these this Sunday after every match, day after every match for Saturday, and then on the Monday after a Sunday match and all that. We'll figure out the midweek stuff, when we get to it. But thanks for joining us.
Sure, Scarves and Spikes.
Yeah, exactly. It's a moving target with these match dates and all that. But thanks for joining us, whether you're watching on YouTube live on the Sunday night, whether you're joining us on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, iHeart. Really appreciate you joining us. Tyler wasn't there, so he missed a absolute banger of a match.
My emotions watching from home. We had family, we had friends in town. We're hanging out. Had an event this weekend.
Yeah.
I went through the entire gamut of emotions last night. We were sitting around a fire pit, and the first goal happens, and I'm like, all right, like whatever. This is how we do it. And then Alexi, he shuts everybody up, right? All of Slam gets involved in an attack.
Yeah.
All right, cool. Halftime goes, and the way that the second half started, I almost just threw my phone in the lake. I was like, oh crap!
Did you almost jump in the fire?
Yeah, I thought about it. I was so frustrated.
That was horrid.
Yeah,
that was just. We'll go easy on Chunky. I mean, it's his first start. We'll talk about that a little bit later on. First start, emergency start, in for Pedro and Dyla, in case you missed it, said doesn't seem like it was anything serious, but it's a quad. He felt something in his quad. So Chunky, who's been signed to a short-term agreement, had to step in last minute. Again, we'll talk about that later on. But yeah, just oh my gosh, you could just feel the air just being sucked out of the stadium when he made that touch, and Hannes Wolf made it 3-1, making an embrace for himself. And I feel like everybody was thinking this is over. Like, it's coming up on 60th minute. You can feel just the tension in the building just rise. Like, this team just going to play this poorly in front of their home fans. And what do you know? You make some changes down with 30 minutes to go about, and right away, you see the difference. They almost immediately, Saba forces a goal off Keaton Parks, 3-2. And after that, Tyler, you can feel the goal is coming. You feel the third was coming. Miggy eventually scores it to make it 3-1, which, again, you missed. I don't want to keep like dragging it up, but
I figured it was going to happen. Whatever.
And then ultimately, a keeper and his center back get crossed up. Where have we seen that before? Not Atlanta, huh?
No, not even a little bit.
Nothing Atlanta does about.
He was pissed.
Yeah, like they both were. They both.
Yeah, were. I mean, I'll just really quick. I'll touch on that. That is absolute piss poor goalkeeping. Yeah. Like, you have to. That is your box, dude. Command your box. Come out and get the freaking. And you could see what he's trying to do. Like, the center back, he's trying to, guard Latte Lath off the ball. Good luck. But when that's happening, that is the signal to your goalkeeper to come out and get the ball, dude. But they didn't. And thankfully, Atlanta got to reap the rewards off of it for once.
I would say that would dominate the talk shows in the New York market, but we all know they don't care about soccer.
Yeah.
In New York City. Credit to Glenn Crooks and Matty Lawrence on the call for NYCFC. Credit to those guys for this award the game. And we've had Glenn on previously. But just as a market, Like they have two big, well, the big sports radio station. I'll just say WFAN, and then they have ESPN radio. I forget what they're, I think 880 or something like that. But then they have New York Times. They have Newsday, which is more toward Long Island. They have and the New York Post and the Daily News. They have so many outlets, and they just don't care about this. They don't care about the game up there. So sort of a footnote, I would imagine, out there in the tri-state area. But
if they could care about it up there, they'd be really pissed off today. I'm just saying.
I know. But we have to talk about the start, and we'll get Tommy in here shortly. But we have to talk about the start because, again, a preventable goal for Hannes Wolf, who scored the opener. Of course, again, ending with a brace. Derek Williams, I feel like had a shocking first half. Just wasn't up to it. Second best, really, when it came to center backs. Steon Gregerson was okay, but I think Derek Williams, one of his worst performances in a Atlanta United kit. Ultimately, Atlanta United wins, so he maybe gets a little let off in that regard, but you need your center back to be up to the challenge. And those moments that just had two really poor touches, one leading to the goal. And then the second half gets beaten, and then Brooks Lennon has to come in emergency cover and ultimately concedes a penalty. And
Spears somebody.
What's that?
He comes in and spears somebody.
Yeah, and it's always a penalty. Just to be fair to Brooks. But yeah, I put Williams on that all the way because of Lennon. I mean, what else can he do? He has to come in, and again, an emergency situation has to jump in, and unfortunately, because it's a penalty. But Derek, as we kind of get Tommy in, just very poor, poor. And
He, I think it was the way Atlanta plays, especially defensively. You have these moments like this, right? And like I think Derek Williams is going to be the one highlighted from yesterday, and that's fine. Yeah. Like it seems like you're just kind of cycling through players that kind of get the spotlight, maybe in a negative way, but it's a team effort, right? Like when these things are going bad, it might, the spotlight, it might shine on Derek for an accident, but like it's the whole team not being switched on. And then there's a moment where the switch is flipped, it seems like, and you start playing a different kind of football. Now, granted, you got to give, Dyla credit, subs and some changes and all that stuff yesterday. But, I mean, Derek, he had a rough one. And I think he needs to just kind of take a step back and settle himself back in because he's a great center back. He really is. He's he's kind of all over the place. I think he may be trying to do too much, trying to be a little bit too much of the guy.
Yeah.
Which is fair. There's a lot of pressure on that back line right now, but
it
all worked out.
And we talk about, as we bring Tommy in here, we talk about all the time with center backs. You don't notice them unless they have a really crappy performance or they screw up. And we definitely noticed Derek Williams in a negative way against NYC. Again, you get the 3 points in dramatic fashion, but you kind of hope that with Williams, and Tommy, I'll let you chime in here. You kind of hope with Williams, this is just a little bit of bad form. Maybe it's a little PTSD, just a little bit of what happened between him and Guzan against Miami. You hope that if you have a player like him who has been around MLS, he's a veteran, you hope that it's something that he could just play himself out of, because it's not the first time he's been in bad form, I'm sure. And you hope at this point, again, he can find ways to get himself right on the training ground, find himself ways to get right mentally. So when they play FC Dallas, when they play New England coming up here in these next couple of weeks, he can come out and be the Derek Williams that we've kind of come to know and love since his time with Atlanta United.
2 coaches and the same thing still happens. Individual mistakes. You bring new players in, individual mistakes. Just keeps burning them year after year.
Yeah.
It's annoying. It's really annoying.
It's just, you don't want to harp too much on it, but again, like, why are we still having these conversations? I don't want to, I don't want to just drag us down, but why are we still having these conversations? What was this? What 5-6 matches into the 2025 season with a new head coach?
I mean, it's
I
football.
I absolutely agree.
That's part of the game, you know. I think absolutely, like, there's something to be said. Like the heads have got to get screwed on right and locked in before the opening whistle. Everybody's got to be on the same page.
Yeah.
I don't know. You know, you can attribute, and I'm not trying to make excuses, but you know, you can maybe attribute some of it to that last minute change for, you know, Pedro Amador and Chankwi. That doesn't just affect Chankwi, right? That affects the guys around him that are playing in those positions
Yeah.
where he's going to have to connect. And I think for a guy like Derek, having talked to him and then just kind of like the vibe that he puts off, I think maybe there's a little bit of a, hey, this is his like first real minutes. I need to do a little bit more to try to, you know, help him out. It's almost like that dad mentality, I guess. And
Do you overcompensate, do you think?
I think so. I think there's definitely something to be said there. And I mean, it's a psychological thing. And it's something that I mean, you can't do that. You got it because you have to trust the other 10 guys out there on the pitch with you. Because that's what you're telling each other in the locker room. But I think there is something to be said for that, maybe. I mean, it again, it doesn't just affect Chankwi when that happens or whoever.
Yeah.
It affects the folks around him as well.
No. Tommy, you were at an emo concert during the match. I know you watched it back on Sunday.
I watched it today, but I was in the basement with one bar. So I would get some like responses, like people liking our tweets, and then like 10 minutes later, it would tell me a goal happened. And then the only person I can get a message to was Henry. So Henry was just telling me what was going on throughout the game, and I kept showing it to Tina, going, "Yeah, I'm gonna shave my beard off. This is happening. it's 3-1. This isn't good." And then the second one happened. Then the third one happened. I said, "A draw's okay this time. A draw's okay." It would move to the next game if that happened. And then Latte left, scores a great goal. It's how do you not start Saba on the right? How do you not do it to start the game? And I heard what you talked on the 3 takes there, and you brought it up, and someone brought it up to Ronnie after the game as well. Like, you just saw it work on Cincinnati. I understand you're still trying to make what you started with work, but it's not. It's just not working. And you got to. If it starts the same way in Houston, I'm going to scream at the clouds. Absolutely, I'm just going to keep screaming. Like, so, I mean, when we were doing the pre, you know, Marinchuk, I understand you're trying to get the best opportunity to succeed in this offense. But what I said when we were doing the lineups was, I don't care about him. I care about Saba. I care about Saba being in the best place for him. He's been our MVP. He was our MVP last season, our best player on the field, consistently giving 100% effort. And if he's not comfortable on the left side, stop putting him there. That's just where it has to be at this point. You got to stop trying to make it work. It's not working.
I kind of thought Miggy would start. Well, let me back up. I kind of thought he would start. Saba would start on the right because Miggy played twice for Paraguay and World Cup qualifying, and he came in pretty hot. From what I've heard, from what Ronnie said on Thursday. So I would have thought, with the lack of training with the team leading up and the fact that he had played a couple of games already, at least 90 minutes in the long flight from South America, I would have thought he would have started on the bench. But I definitely agree. I definitely agree that Saba needs to be on the right. Saba definitely needs to be on the right, 100%. And
I mean, when things changed last night, look at, you know, the immediate reaction and the immediate effect that it really had, right? Sometimes guys are just made for that position, and it's not a fluke, right? Because like Tommy, like you're saying, you saw a lot of it last year. And to be fair, like when Saba first got here and he would do a lot of the interchange and play on the left and play on the right, and they would kind of, you know, flip-flop around. I mean, he found success on the left, but I think it was more of a tactical thing where, you know, throwing him over to the left kind of threw off the defense. So it wasn't so much that he's individually taking guys on, you know, on the left and winning necessarily. but it's just the fact that he's moved over. They've done a little bit of a flip flop. That kind of, I think, changes how defenders have to handle who it is that they're having to defend at the time.
Yeah.
But I mean, him being on the right, he just looks comfortable and confident, and he's been effective. So I think, you have to start
they broke.
really thinking, and having that conversation of like, we might have to move things around based on where Saba's going to be at.
There were a couple of times where there was nobody on the right. Absolutely nobody. There was like a cross, and Miguel was running towards the middle.
Yeah.
And then it goes over everybody, and there's just nobody there.
Yeah.
Not a soul. Brooks was still back a little bit. I'm like, oh,
right.
It's the ghost that's over there. Trying to take it. Maybe EAFC really has it right. Like, if you take a player out of position, like they'll subtract and say, oh, they were an 87 and now they're an 85. Yeah. Saba's like a 90 in MLS terms. Okay, we're not saying all of that. That's my own number. So let's put him 90, and then he's like a 40 on the left.
Right.
Maybe a 45.
Keep him harsh.
I'm just being a smart ass.
I know.
Hey, just keep him on the right, keep him on 90, and keep him going.
Yeah. I know you were, if you're listening on the audio version, I know you wanted to hit on a comment in the chat. By the way, if you're listening after fact, join us live. We're here every Sunday night. We're here Mondays. We're here Wednesdays. I feel like we're live almost every night, guys.
Yeah.
To some extent. But if you watch us live, we have our comments going. And I know you want to hit on something, Tom. You're kind of pointing at a comment. I don't know what it was that you wanted to.
Oh, the Hawks are absolutely destroying the Bucks. Absolutely destroying them right now.
Oh, okay.
Well, they're kind of blowing it. But 131 to 115, and there's still 6 minutes left.
Hey, I mean, are they going to pull a Texas Tech against Florida? We'll see.
No, they'll be fine. I'm sure.
Henry, who is not able to join us tonight, for this episode, he had a question, and he said,
"Not a loaded question by Henry at all.
Not at all. Not at all related to anything he wrote on scarsandspikes.com or anything like that. How did we like Alexei Miranchuk at the number 8? Be honest.
Look pretty damn good.
Yeah. No, I mean, do we expect to see him there in the future? Because, if you do, you got to worry about Mateusz Klich, who you brought in. I mean, granted, DC United is eating a ton of his salary to essentially keep him as a DP when he doesn't even play for them. So, is this kind of create a selection dilemma for Ronny Deila? Does he move with Alexei at the 8 for the time being, and maybe brings in Klich as a super sub to some extent? I mean, what do you guys think? How are you guys feeling?
I think the way that it happened last night, the way that Alexei is moved in the middle of the game, is probably how you see him be most effective. I think when you start a match, right, like you want your typical number 10, your playmaker, right? You want your right, left wing, you want your striker. That's how you're setting up. But then you look at the way New York was playing last night, and it was very aggressive, to be fair. I mean, they were very attack-oriented. The beginning of the game was 100% back and forth. It was kind of wild. F midfield kind of ball. And if your midfield can't hold it down, then the game is going to become a track meet. And I think that's kind of what we saw. And Alexei is not the type of guy that's going to go and prevail at a track meet type game. Of course, you have Latte Lap, you have Miggy, you have Saba. That's what they're known for. But then when things kind of slowed down, and New York admittedly took their foot off the gas some, and then you drop Alexei back as that connector role to where he has that job. He's literally connecting the defenders and then the front three.
Right.
He kind of becomes way more effective in those moments because if he has a split second to make those passes, he tends to hit them really well. And I think that's what you kind of started seeing last night. But it's when you're really, really pressing him hard and require him to make, very, very split-second decisions in the attack and as a playmaker, I think that's where he gets a little overwhelmed and it becomes a little bit more difficult. So I don't think he has to start as an 8 all the time. I think it's depending on the way the game is being played at the moment. All right, now we drop him back a little bit. Now we move some things around and you can unlock what he's really going to bring and play to his strengths.
I think it was certainly a sort of a redemption match for him because he scored, obviously, and it was a really well-worked goal. Everybody, as we said, off the attack had involvement in it. What a dummy by Miggy, though, in the box to set up that pass from Latte Lat to Miranchuk, who made no mistake on the goal. So hopefully for him, from an attacking standpoint, guys, hopefully that's a massive weight off his back and he can maybe play with a little less pressure because Tyler, like he said, those quick decisions that he has to make, he struggles. And we saw it again on Sunday night, last night. So hopefully this is maybe a turning point for him. A turning point certainly for Lady Night, but maybe a turning point for him, depending on where Dyla plays him moving forward.
There was a pass he made early in the game where just reminded me of someone passing to Joseph Martinez, and you saw Loth just speeding down down the field, and just sad that it was a little bit to the left there. But that would have started off great. It would have let Alexi get a little pressure off of him, immediately contribute to a goal there. Didn't work. Do you think that was on purpose? Do you think that was it? Who was it on that first goal? It was Alexi. Was it Almiron? Or that we're kind of right there when the goal happened?
It was Latte Lath and Miranchuk. And I see like Dylan, some people in the chat.
I guess was it kind of accidental? It's a question.
I mean, yeah, it was that was
accident.
That was
it looked cool. It did look cool.
It did.
But we've seen that fail. We saw the fail, and I think it was Miami, where they both kind of just ran into each other.
Yeah. But hey, shout out to Alexi. He took that strike with confidence, with his less dominant foot too, by the way.
Yeah.
And yeah, you just gotta hope like maybe this is what just opens the floodgates for him. I mean, it's not like we've been criticizing this man, not just us, but a lot of folks over the past 3 weeks because we think it's fun. We want him to succeed, and to see that kind of game last night, especially like after the goal where he became even, I think, more effective. Like, dude, hey man, I'll bust out the cheerleading crap and like, let's go. I want you to succeed, man.
I can imagine Alexi having this list like Ryan Howard in The Office when he comes back as the receptionist after he gets fired from Dunder Mifflin, and Michael pulls some strings to get him back. Ryan has this list and of people that he's gonna get back at. I can see Alexi having that same list.
Tyler, Sydney, all of MLS.
Hey man,
got halfway through Henry's article, and just slammed his laptop shut.
That's who he was staring down last
night.
No,
exactly. Latte luck, by the way, guys. 5 goals. 5 goals in 6 matches.
Where's the milk carton now, MLS Move? Where's the milk carton?
How many goals?
We definitely noticed him.
How many goals does Patrick Adjumong have?
That's a good question. Good point. But, I mean, this is what you pay him so much money for moments like what we saw on last night. And now he has 5 goals, tied with Kuipers for second. Ty Barrymore still in the lead, and MLS Golden lead with 6. This is what happens. Must be nice, guys, to have an actual legitimate striker on your team. Someone that wants to be here. I would assume until hopefully no Liga MX teams come calling.
Don't you dare.
But yeah, no. But by all accounts, he wants to be here, and he's confident. I asked him last night in the locker room, how confident are you? He said, look, I mean, I'm scoring, I'm confident, and that's what you want in a striker. You want him scoring as many goals as he can. that just breeds confidence. And he has another one today or on last night. He takes advantage of miscommunication between Diego Martins and Matt Freeze. By the way, whoever needed to take charge is whatever at this point. But credit to Lottie Lotch for being Johnny on the spot there, noticing that and having the ability to take that ball from Martins and score, essentially keeping Matt Freeze flat-footed on the goal.
I mean, and that's
what you want.
That's a hard finish. Like I just got to throw that out there real quick. That is not one of those things that you could do easily, trying to, without a goalkeeper right in your face and a defender trying to fight the ball off of you. So we know how fast he is. He makes it up there. The dude runs like Sonic the Hedgehog. It's crazy. He gets up there and he gets in between them, frustrates him enough and flusters him enough. But just a little chip over the top, man. That's not a simple thing to do, man.
Yeah, but when I said flat foot, I'm not literally flat footed, but catches it by surprise. Yeah, but I mean, he's been good. I mean, he again 5 goals in 6 matches. It's nothing to sneeze at. And question this: how many goals does he end up with? You're gonna need more people to score for you, of course. And you saw Alexi score, which is good, but you can't have him carry the entire load. But now you can see with a standout striker on your side, on your team, you stand half a chance of winning games. And it's good to see him have that element of his game on display, and just a good goal, a really good goal, ultimately the winning goal. Hopefully more to come from him, because now he's in a decent run of form at this time, and hopefully he can use that to continue to
way better than decent.
Better than decent, but hopefully he can use this to further elevate his team or elevate his game as he gets used to MLS, as he learns the intricacies of the league, the physicality, and all of that. He can continue to take advantage and continue to score, continue to put the ball in the back of the net. Who knows? Maybe at the end of the day, when it's all said and done, he's right up there further in the Golden Boot lead. I wouldn't bet against him at this point.
I really like what he did after they took the lead. They kept showing him, and he kept trying to just keep everyone organized, yelling to everybody. And I just absolutely loved watching him, after that goal. Everything after the goal. Like, I just paid attention to him, and he's barking out orders. I mean, he was a leader out there.
Yeah.
And you don't only see that, defensively with the striker, but I mean, he was yelling at everyone. He wanted those 3 points. He did not want that goal to result in 1 point. He wanted all 3.
Didn't really see that a lot with Gigi.
I think it.
Not that I can really remember.
Joseph did though.
Joseph certainly would
Joseph would get angry and yell at everybody.
Yeah, he would 6 goals. But no, you wouldn't see that with Gigi. But it's good to see that Tommy with Latte Lot showing that leadership, like you said, and that comes with experience. That comes with age. Certainly, he's been a professional for a number of years now, and it's good to see him. Just 6 matches in to his time with the Lady United already showing that, and that's very promising, I think, for Lady United as we move on further in the season. Tadaya in the chat asking any bets on when he gets his first hat trick. I mean, I think
I keep betting it every week.
Yeah,
it'll happen
sooner rather than later. I'm sure.
Genuinely is one of those like any given Sunday type scenarios. Yeah. I mean, because you look at this match, right? The Miggy goal that just as easily could have been a brace for Latte Lath, right? Yeah. And then he had an opportunity very early on in the match that was sent just wide. I mean, like the chances are coming for him. It's not just that he's very clinical, but it's not that he's only getting 1 opportunity a game or 2. He's getting multiple. So I think there could be the day where he just gets unlocked and he absolutely makes somebody pay dearly.
No, yeah, that 2
revolution.
Shots. Yeah, no doubt. No, but he had 2 shots against NYC, 1 on target, of course, the goal. He also had an assist. Let's not forget that he was credited with the assist on Alexi's goal, where you call it pass or not. It's an assist. But yeah, he had 2 shots, 1 on target. He had 1 on target Cincinnati, of course, made the most of that. The goal there. So yeah, like you say, he gets his opportunities, and some of these opportunities, guys, a couple of these he's had to create for himself just a little bit, which tells you the type of player that he is. But it tells you once things start clicking, once this attack starts to truly gel, that's going to be more and more and more opportunities for Latte Lot to score. And eventually, yes, he will get that first hat trick. I think it's a matter of when, not if. We joke about New England. But I think I wouldn't put it past him to score one, or at least one this season. That way, Tommy can finally cash in on that bet that he's been making for the past few weeks. How much did you put on it this time, by the way?
Just a couple bucks. But man, if Almiron did not steal Latte Lot's goal there from that beautiful, beautiful little cross into the box by Silva,
yeah,
I would have been $325 richer. I just bet 2 goals and Atlanta United win.
Right.
I did bet Atlanta United money line, and I mean, that was the scariest
Also
bet
bet
I've
your
ever
beard.
had. Yeah, and my beard.
That's the biggest bet.
Out money, out sleeping on the couch, wife avoiding me. It was all on the line. Absolutely all on the line.
You made up pretty good last night.
Yeah, real quick before we go further with this game, I think we should recognize Ronnie's outfit. He looks like a guy that was going to wrestle on like Sunday Night Heat. He was like a jobber wrestler out there with the torn off shirt and all black, and it's like, well,
you're going back in the 90s, aren't you?
Absolutely. Sunday Night Heat was the place to be WCW. On Sundays when you were a teenager there.
TBS, right, or TNT?
No, Sunday Night Heat was WWE.
Oh, USA
Network.
USA. You're right.
Are they wearing suits into the stadium anymore?
No.
Do you think? There's one guy that obviously I'm guessing on who says no more suits. One man.
Yeah.
One.
And you can all tell on who. Like, there's always the guy in the office that's always like being like, man, we should have casual Friday. We should have casual. Everyone knows who's the guy who's begging for casual Friday. And I know who's betting for casual Saturday. And that is Ronnie.
Yeah. 100%.
Yeah.
Hey, man, and good for him, dude.
Yeah.
I don't need to be uncomfortable. I like getting dressed up occasionally, like the next guy, whatever. But if I'm getting ready to go play in front of 45,000 people and I got to be locked in, I don't want to be uncomfortable walking across the pitch where I'm about to be kicking a ball in an hour and a half.
Well, then you got to hang your suit back up. Like as you're trying to get ready, you got to put it all in nice so that you can have it nice for the next time. I get it. Yeah. I'm fine with casual Saturdays.
As long as you win. I don't care what he wears. Within reason, of course.
And then on the topic of Ronnie, the fact that he got to go do his Ronnie roar.
Yeah.
In front of the supporter section.
Finally.
He was hyped.
Yeah.
He was hyped. So
was it a little, I mean, obviously you come back from 2-3-1 down, but maybe a little bit from knowing that it was his former team that he beat, maybe? Just a little bit.
I think it's
it kind of washed us out because he just, again, came back from 2 goals down, but
I think you're always going to have that extra emotion.
Yeah. No, absolutely. Absolutely. Glad you finally get to see it, though, before we get too far into the season.
Yeah.
Before we get any further, scarsandspecks.com. It's where you can find all our written content about Atlanta United, news, analysis, opinion. Wrote something about Dom Chong Ki. You can read it on there. Take a look at that. We'll, of course, have lead up to FC Dallas match coming up on Saturday. Patreon.com/Scarves and Spikes. Check us out there. $1.17 a month, $5 a month, $10 a month. Support our content. Yes, support our content. Support what we do. Our independent coverage of not just Atlanta United, but Club World Cup coming up. Hopefully, 2026 World Cup coming up next year. All that good stuff. Patreon.com/Scarves and Spikes. Of course, our store. There's a link on scarsandspikes.com for that. By the way, Patreon backers get access to our Discord. Should throw in there. And a link to our store.
Boy, it was a nightmare. I was able to go outside for a minute to check the score. And boy, it was like the meme when you they walk into the office and it's on fire everywhere and then they turn around. That's what it was when it was 3-1. I was like, I'm just gonna walk back out.
Right. Just leaving the scene.
That was the point where I was about to throw my phone in the fire or the lake. Both. I was struggling, man.
Throw your phone in the fire, throw yourself in the lake,
Yeah.
or whatever.
And the best line about joining Patreon, Bruno says it here. It's cheaper than most OnlyFans pages, so absolutely join us.
I wouldn't know.
Well, I'm working on the Scarves and Spikes calendar. That's going to be part of our OnlyFans page. That's why I got a long walk in today and 2 push-ups.
And still a
Don't
beard.
work too hard.
And still a beard.
Still a beard. Still a beard.
I don't think anybody would buy it if it was a beardless Tommy.
Yeah.
We leave the beardless for the Henry.
Yeah, no, exactly. I know I wouldn't buy it with beardless Tommy.
Do you know what upsets me?
What?
I'm so sick of hearing this, and I'm going to blame Felipe for this.
Uh-oh.
There was a tweet. I don't know when. All the years have meshed together. But he tweeted it years ago that said, Mercedes-Benz Stadium used to be a fortress. I hate the word fortress. I despise it.
What would you rather?
I'm just sick of hearing about
That place is a citadel.
It just
a castle.
We said it on the pre-show, and then it was on the 3 takes, and
well,
nothing.
I'm sorry,
it's not you,
Tommy.
but no. Felipe retweets it. Felipe talks about it. People, everyone talks about it. You know, you go and Atlanta United TV. Everybody, Mercedes-Benz used to be a fortress. I am so sick of hearing it. And even if they win 3 games, it's not a fortress. It's gonna take years. When teams used to come to Mercedes-Benz Stadium, they didn't want to play soccer. They just sat back and just tried to win that or to get a draw, a 0-0 draw, and say we got a point out of Mercedes-Benz Stadium. Let's move on. Let's go on. Or the midweek game, they're like, oh, we're going to Atlanta. We're going to lose this game anyways. Let's just get all our midweek guys. Let's rest our guys for Saturday. That's how it used to be. It's going to take a long time for this team to be consistent and to get teams scared. And you're just allowing goals. You're allowing simple goals at home. The fortress is going to take years to get rebuilt.
No, you're right. You're right. But I mean, last night was a big step. Last night was a big step, and this entire homestand will be a big step in that direction. Guys, there's no excuse, and we've talked about it. There's no excuse. This shouldn't be a 9-point homestand for Atlanta United. I mean, you have to fortress.
I think you underestimate Dallas. You've been underestimating Dallas since we've been talking about this 3-game homestand. They have the Atlanta United killer.
I understand
stupid ways to score in Atlanta.
The turf killer? Oh yeah, he's coming.
I understand it's MLS and anything can happen. I do understand that. With this attack, with the players on this roster, and yes, I know Lucho Costa plays for Dallas. With that in mind, you should win these matches. You shouldn't have to go down 3-1 to NYCFC. It could have been worse. You can't go down 3-1 at home. That's embarrassing. You came back, you got away with it this time. When better teams come in here, Philadelphia, etc. You already had Miami come in here, but when better teams come into that building, you're not gonna be able to get away with going down 3-1. You gotta be better. Be better. Tadaya, thanks by the way for your super sticker. Really appreciate your support. Super sticker.
Sorry.
Oh, thanks a lot. Thanks a lot. Really
we appreciate it for sure.
Thanks so
Absolutely.
much. How did Dom Chonky do, guys?
Dom Chonky did just fine.
Yeah.
Dude got thrown into a crap show.
Yeah, last minute.
Just getting off the plane. He's been the story of the preseason for Atlanta. I mean, it sucks now because that was the last time you could try to use him unless you actually sign him on a contract. But I'm not even worried about it, man. You can't look at the rest of the team get rattled,
right? And
then not expect the 17-year-old to get rattled. He took a tough touch in the box, and he got punished.
Yeah,
that kid, he's gonna learn from it. He's gonna fix it. He'll be all right.
And I mentioned it. If that were Amador, if that were Lennon taking that touch, or Williams, anyone else, Brad Guzan would be ripping them a new one. But credit to Brad in the moment for not reacting to it. His understanding obviously was, he's a kid. He'll make these mistakes. He'll grow. And even in the locker room, when he was asked about it, Brad said, just paraphrasing, just shake it off. Just erase it. And that's what you want from a leader. That's what you want from a veteran in Guzan who is helping this kid get his feet underneath him as a professional. Granted, he'll be playing with the Lady United 2 the rest of the season. Dom will. But, I really liked how Guzan handled that and handled it not only on the field, but in the locker room. So shout out to Brad for that, certainly.
I'm not mad, but I'm just disappointed.
Yeah.
I'm just disappointed in you.
Disappointed dad.
Just a little bit.
Yeah.
I don't know, man.
So you guys have no experience in that.
Not even a little bit.
Every day of my life.
Yeah.
I wanted to hit. I was very interesting because I know Zach bringing up in the chat that SofaScore gave him a 5.4, saying it was the worst rating. FOTMob, as we often go. What would y'all give him?
6.1.
5.6.
I would have said a 6, all things considered, right?
Yeah.
Like age, everything.
They gave him a 10.
FOTMob gave him a 4.7.
Oh, that's very harsh.
And I know FOTMob doesn't have like
though?
an age calculator.
It's because of the touch. It's because the touch led to the third NYC goal, and they docked him for that. But that's still very harsh.
Well, he was average. So
yeah.
you get him to a 5. If it averages 5, and then you make a mistake like that takes you down a little bit. I'm not off about it. I'm not upset about that score. Is what I'm trying to say. I don't think it's completely off. I mean, 5 is average. We got to remember 5 is average.
Yeah.
So if you're a little bit below average, it's gonna be a 4.
Yeah, and I said 6.1. I mean, I could be talked into maybe a 5.5. I mean, the touch was bad, but I mean, I don't know if you penalize him and dip him into a sub 4 performance. I don't think total it was a sub 4 performance or a sub 5 performance, to be honest with you. Was he great? Absolutely not. Was he terrible? Absolutely not. He had the bad touch.
That is average. That is what average is. He wasn't good, but he wasn't bad.
Here's the thing about
I get it.
Here's the thing about Dom in this one. To me, it wasn't so much like you had the individual mistake. That's going to be what, again, the spotlight goes on. One of the things that we talked to Ronnie about and that we saw him kind of harp on in the preseason on the touchline was Dominic's positioning. It was one of the things he talked to me about down in Florida after the preseason game down there. And he's made it a point to help, kind of get him to that next level in terms of where do you need to be when you need to be there. As an outside back, there's a lot. I mean, it's going in a line essentially back and forth up and down the pitch, but there's a lot to know, like when to be where based on where the teammates on the other side of the pitch are, and that can be very difficult for a young kid. And I think all the places that he got beat yesterday or had trouble, they came from places of just being out of position slightly, and that's fixable. That it's that's not like a fundamental flaw. That is something that he can be coached into. And it's something that Ronnie noticed first week here, and was already working on it. So, man, I'm not upset at Dom at all. Like, never should have been put in that position in the first place, whatever. And I mean, everybody has bad touch.
Ronnie has so much faith in this kid. It's not even funny. And you talk all the time, he coached Martin Odegaard. Odegaard was a teenager when he got his first start.
15.
Yeah. So Dom, obviously a couple of years older than that, but the faith that Ronnie has in Dom speaks volumes. I feel like Dom definitely takes that to heart. He said in the locker room when I asked him what those conversations were like with Ronnie, he said they've been great conversations. And obviously we're not privy to the specifics of what those are, but you can tell Ronnie really rates Dom, and of course he'll be with Atlanta United too. Dom will, unless he gets signed to a first team contract. I don't think he do, because you don't want him just sitting on the bench for 25-30 matches down the stretch. You need to get him playing time. I think get him down to Atlanta United too, and then maybe if you wanted to get even more playing time with a more professional, with a higher higher club on the pyramid, maybe loan him out. I don't know. At least get him some minutes with some professionals. But he has been a player that has been a big target for Atlanta United. I remember a conversation we had. I remember a few years back, Carlos Bocanegra said Dom Chonky, he's a player to watch for Atlanta United. And we're starting to see now the maturity of Chonky, the growth of Chonky over these past few months. And he's going to be a part of this club, part of this first team eventually. I don't know if it's going to be probably not going to be in 2025. He becomes a homegrown in 2026, but he will definitely be a big part of this club, this first team in the future.
Ronnie believes in the kids, and
Yeah.
he's had to in bad situations. He's had to play them. He's been forced to, but the motivation that he has given them, and you've heard him talk about Edwards. You've heard it talk about Tom as well. He believes in them, and especially with Edwards. While maybe he's had a couple hiccups here, I mean, he's been great for being getting his first appearance opening day and then continuing to improve, come into the game yesterday. I mean, I like everything that Ronnie's doing with them, and that's really the hope here, because you got to get a couple young players that are able to contribute in a salary cap system like this. When you don't, you're going to struggle. You're not going to be able to maximize your cap the way that you want to and maximize your roster. So hopefully he continues to improve, and we'll see him back here in a couple of years, and maybe some spot performances next season, exactly like this, and maybe he's in the Edwards role next year, where he's the the go-to guy to start it.
Yeah. I wonder, and I'll have to double check the rules. I wonder if we see him at some point in Leagues Cup. Maybe. Again, I'll have to double check the rules, what the call-ups. You don't think so? You don't think so?
You saying, like, Tommy? Are you saying no based on because of rules, or because
not MLS rules? I mean, unless you got a lot of injuries, they're going to try and make an impact in that tournament.
Yeah,
this isn't the Open Cup.
Yeah,
if this was Open Cup, I'd say maybe.
No, absolutely. But again, you don't want to rush him, so there's no use in signing him again to a first team contract. I know maybe one or two will say, "Hey, sign him." I don't think he'd do, because essentially he'll be on the bench. He would probably still get time with the twos, but I think at this time, I think it makes better sense to keep him with the twos and then just wait for that contract to convert to a homegrown contract. January.
He's hungry though, and I like the fact that there was no hesitation. It seemed, to put him out on the pitch, and to see his teammates trust him like that. And then also, like the moment you're talking about, Sydney, where Brad doesn't absolutely, light a fire. Like, he's 17 years old.
Yeah.
He knows, like, right. And especially take all the circumstances into consideration. Like, I mean, you're out there in front of 45,000 people, and then TV, your first start, like, there's a lot of pressure riding on it. He knows he made a mistake. It happens to every single soccer player all over the world. It'd be what it be. He didn't need Brad Gazan yelling in his ear, and kudos to Brad for not. And then, but then to see him kind of just pick his head up, I don't know, man. I like to see that. It's awesome.
No, for sure.
There's one player I don't think we've talked about yet. Sleesh. He got hurt. I was wondering what happened, because I saw that he came out, and I messaged Henry. I think Henry was just like, he wasn't playing very well. He had, I don't think anybody knew it was an injury at that time. But what did you think of that first half performance?
I mean, it's kind of hard to point one player out. I mean, as bad as the first half was, outside of the goal, to be fair.
I mean, the whole midfield was a mess.
Yeah, you need Bartek to be better, though. I mean, he's being paid, and we've mentioned it before. You don't really notice the midfield essentially until they do something wrong. And Sasha said it, a few weeks ago on our show. He said Bartek's been inconsistent. I mean, he'll give a 4 out of 10 performance one week, 8 out of 10 performance the next, and just kind of going back and forth between the two. But you don't need that. You need a solid, consistent performance week in, week out. I don't think we've really seen that with Bartek. So in that regard, I definitely agree with Sasha. And he had, and we've seen growth. We've seen definitely growth from Bartek since last year, especially after League's Cup. But I mean, he needs to be better, and he really does if he wants to have a place on this team. I mean, what do you guys think? More about what he did, how he performed.
I mean, I think going back to the same conversation, had about Miranchuk earlier. When it comes to the midfield, when you have an aggressive midfield, and by aggressive I mean the other team, not Atlanta, running their way through the middle of the park. Click, Slish, Fortune, whoever's there, they have to take control of the game and make it the tempo that they want. That's my issue. That's what I didn't see that out of anybody yesterday. And I mean, Slish, that's one of his responsibilities. I mean,
yeah,
that's where they have to be better. And I think that's where if you're going to pick on any part of the midfield this season, because going the other way, I think they've been a lot better than they have been in the past in the attack and maybe progressing the ball. But it's in defense. They look wildly all over the place. And you have to be the person who takes charge when you're a number 8 or a number 6, even you're the tempo controller. You tell everybody when to go. And that I'm not seeing that kind of confidence out of any of them.
Yeah, I mean, the reason why I asked specifically about Sleesh is just the Miami game. The last we saw him, he took that real hard.
Yeah,
took that loss real hard there. And watching that first half, knowing that he wasn't going to make it to the end, I really tried to pay attention to that first half. And I just, what was his FOTMOP score?
Well, I was going to ask y'all what y'all wrote, because I see some 4s in the chat and people all over the place.
Should be seeing some W's in the chat. I don't know about you guys. Based on 5 being average, I think 5.5, slightly above average. Hopefully,
now you're talking about. Now you know what average is.
I already knew what average was.
I think all the midfield was like around a 6. I mean, I would give everyone in the midfield a 6, basically, besides Miranchuk.
What did they give him?
7.1.
A 7.1.
Click got a 6.3.
Take that, haters.
I mean, Saba also got a 7.1.
Huh. Because of the own goal for us mainly.
Yeah, but I mean, I think like Saba's probably could have been higher. I mean,
wait a minute. Are you looking at the right game? I just pulled it up.
100%.
Hold on. Fact check in progress now.
Fleece is 6.7.
I'm literally looking at a 7.1 right now.
I'm literally looking at it here.
All right, well, I can't turn my other screen.
Wait, Latte Laugh? What do you have for Latte Laugh?
7.6.
You two work that out.
8.9.
Okay. You two work that out on the side there. Someone's looking at something wrong. What?
Do you still agree with the 6.7 though? Based on
no, like probably like 6. I think I said 6.4.
Okay. Fair.
FOTMOP controversy.
Huh?
Yeah, I'm gonna send you a screenshot right now, man.
Yeah,
I saw it.
Anything else from the game that stood out for you guys? Anything at all? You can say no if you don't.
No, I mean I do, but I'm thinking.
Wait, what's the question?
I think you got to give Hyundai Silva some credit.
Yeah,
I think he had a much better, more confident game. And I mean, I know like it all kind of comes down to that one goal, but Matt Edwards, I thought he came in and was playing confidently as well, taking on guys 1v1, had the good interchange with Silva, which then led to the Mickey goal. But no, I mean, I think credit where it's due, because there's been criticism of both of them. I thought they came in and made a big difference.
Yeah.
Also, yeah, somebody mentioned Brad. The yellow card, dude, get out of here with that crap.
Yeah.
Get out of here.
What?
That is garbage.
You card Brad for time wasting, air quotes, but you don't card Matt Freeze who's been doing it all night. Come on. Let's get together, pro. Please. It's a joke.
I mean, there was definitely some stalling on the other side. Definitely some stalling. The fans were booing him when he was stalling while they were down. That was the funny part. Like, he was holding on to it, and they're like, "Oh, you know what? Let's just boo him some more." Like, I hope he holds on to the ball for an extra 20 seconds in this situation.
Yeah.
I like Brad's face when it happened, because he sat there and kind of had the whole like, all right, like, whatever, this is so stupid, you're going to give it to me, but I'm going to sit here and continue to shrug my shoulders and waste even more time.
Joke's on you, Philip Dujic. Dujic? How do you pronounce it? Dujic.
However.
I'm sad that we didn't get. I wanted to be available for Spaces yesterday because been curious to see, and I'm glad we got all these comments in here. On my camera's reversed, I got to point this way. I'm like the weatherman. It's coming. The weather's good. The storm's going this way. I wanted to see what everyone thought about this because, yeah, I mean, there was a lot of bad, and there was a lot of good. But we really just, I actually texted the guy I took to the first Atlanta United game. His first game was the home opener. I took him there. He had so much fun. And I messaged him before. I go, "Did you know Atlanta United has not won a game since that day?" And he's like, "What?" We need to see just a full 90 minutes convincing win. That's why I think I said the score was going to be 3-1. I was thinking this was going to be the convincing game, saying they got everything together defensively. They have it together. And I understand there was a last minute change here right before the match started. But the fans just want to see just an overall full effort. And we didn't get that a lot last season. We actually got more of that in the playoffs than we did the regular season. And that's what we need to see. We need to see that convincing, top roster spend overall in here, and just be able to do what you at home. You need to. I understand, the road is a more difficult, but when you're at home, you need to be able to have a full effort, a full 90-minute effort. No, you're gonna have brain farts, absolutely. Hopefully, those brain farts don't cost you a goal. It seems like every time these guys have one, it's costing them. It's 9 out of 10 times that a mistake happens, it's going in the net for Atlanta United. The other team's getting lucky. The other teams are, they make some mistakes and we're unable to capitalize. But you need to be able to see a full 90-minute effort at home, either this Dallas game or absolutely for the Reds game, you should. But for this Dallas game, absolutely, you need to go. You got a player coming in that has killed you every time he plays you. Yeah. You need to shut him down, and you need to, even if it was a 1-0 game and you just defensively you were solid.
Well, you need more clean sheets at home for sure. Yeah, that's the thing.
He wins though too. But yeah, to Dolly's point, I mean, I think we could all agree this team has not played in 90 minutes at all this season, and the longer it goes where you're not, the more you're going to put yourself behind the 8-ball. Dallas is a great opportunity to get back to a full 90-minute effort. I feel like last night was kind of reverse. He played a crap first half, a crap first 15, 30 minutes of the second half, and a really good 30 minutes to end the game. It's been reverse, sort of the last or reverse of what's been the case this season. So hopefully they can do a full 90 minutes performance for the first time this season against FC Dallas.
Absolutely. You gave the I said yesterday, I said you need to give the fans a reason to come on Saturday to the Dallas game. You gave them a reason. You put up 4 goals and a wild performance. If that game is not close to selling out, Atlanta United, get rid of the fees. Get rid of the Ticketmaster fees for this game. Get that place loaded. I've been seeing the Columbus Crew have been doing that. I get like their texts all the time because
Right.
you attend one game. You just attend one game and you get 1,000 text messages. You hit stop, they come back. The Crew are just probably listening to me right now.
So
Get
the
rid of
Braves,
fees.
the Braves do play the Marlins on Saturday, but the Braves are 0-4 to start the season. So
Yeah, they're done. The season's over. Season's over. Come to Mercedes-Benz Stadium. No fees. I'm play the video Atlanta United. Me saying we're getting rid of fees.
Waive the fees
for this for the whole homestand. We're going crazy here.
No fee
all right?
April.
Arthur gets what's going on. We need the fans in here. We need some motivation. And absolutely, I thought maybe it was Apple was either mic'd it up a little bit different this game, or maybe it's just the fans being louder. But I thought the fans, you could hear them way better on this broadcast than almost any other game that I've watched.
Yeah, I mean, you're right. They did give a reason. I mean, again, the Braves play, so maybe some folks will be there. But come out, support the team.
Waive the fees, Garth. Do it for me. I can't even go. I can't even go. But it's also not my money, so I don't care either way. It's not my money. Just waive the fees. Get people in the stadium.
Exactly.
I liked what I heard to that point. It was it was more than just the crowd noise, like the regular like monotone crowd noise, right? Like it was there was ups and downs and like people getting into it, even when the run of play maybe wasn't necessarily going in Atlanta's favor, because sometimes you only get those moments when, somebody gets on the ball into the attack and things are kind of building up. But last night, I mean, besides some of the early crap, like going down 3-1 and all, you had the crowd very, very involved in it. And it was neat.
Yeah, absolutely.
Fun to hear.
Absolutely. Any final thoughts?
Final thoughts.
Any last bit?
Well, just add to what you said. Like, if they would have lost that game 3-1, I don't know how many people go to that game because you haven't won since opening day until yesterday.
Yeah,
like it you don't want it to be a trend,
right?
And I'm not talking about the season. I am talking about the past few seasons where you get a hot start, even though that hot start was one win against Montreal.
Yeah.
But fans have seen this where you win the home opener and then it's just all downhill until something you hope that something pushes them back up into getting back into playoff contention. But if you would have lost that game and where you were in the standings, I mean, it would have been pathetic. It would have been pathetic if you look at there.
And if you lost your beard.
Absolutely. the beard, but I mean, looking at this as an overall picture, I mean, you look at the standings and you say that's embarrassing if they would have lost that game. Now you look at it and saying, okay, you finish this homestand, you get the 6 point, or you get the rest of the 6 points, or even if you get 4, like you're still in really good shape in the standings. But you still, in order, if you win, they will come. And we're not doing the whole dirty thing this time. That was for Wednesday. But you need to get them here. And like you see the chatter. I don't go to Reddit, so I don't, because that place is hell. I go to other places, on Blue Sky and Facebook. Oh, that's also terrible. But you look at it but you could see the frustration. You could see the frustration that's there. That's why this was so big, and how you did it as well. It's absolutely is going to get some people in there and saying, okay, that was probably the most fun I've ever had. If that was someone's first Atlanta United game, they're coming back on Saturday.
You need to go check on them in the meantime.
Right.
Absolutely.
Still alive.
But my friend, his first Atlanta United game was the San Jose opener a few years ago, where Almada scores 2 in like 5 minutes to win the game. He's been a fan ever since. He never left. So if this was your first Atlanta United game, you better, fees or not. But Garth is going to waive the fees. We believe in him. Go to the game on Saturday.
And then what's crazy? We've gone this entire hour and 5 minutes or whatever, and haven't one time mentioned that San Jose game. And this one, it didn't tie that San Jose game. It didn't beat that one, because the San Jose game, and I'm not talking about the same one you are. I'm talking about the one back in 2018. That one was off the chain in so many ways, but this one
better.
This one, I don't know, man. I don't know that it's better.
Different.
I think it was at a better
You were at
time
home. You could enjoy it.
for the
The fans were there.
Yeah. But
I
no,
didn't
it
fall
was,
asleep on accident.
yeah, don't do that. No, but no, I was impressed, man. There was something that you haven't seen Atlanta kind of dig that deep in a while,
Right.
and make something out of a real crap show.
No, absolutely. And it's a good way to end it on that note.
Well, no, we're filibustering. We're never ending this. We're going to 11. We're going
What
to
are we
11.
what are we, Congress or something?
Sure, we're
We're
gonna keep going. A lot of fun, absolutely, a lot of fun. I'm looking forward to Saturday. It's a big game. I know with Dallas. I mean, they are starting to look better. They're improving as well.
Maybe.
This is what you went to Dallas, right? Weren't you in Dallas? Didn't you go to Texas for something?
Who, me?
Yeah.
Yeah, for I don't know when you're talking about. I've been several times.
Well, I know you have,
see
but you've been
future
shit talking
in-laws.
Dallas for like 2 weeks now.
It's not.
You're like, oh, they're
Not.
Dallas. They're Dallas.
No, I have nothing but
I'm
love for
scared of
Dallas.
them.
My fiance was born and raised in Dallas. I don't hate Dallas.
I don't know. You've been
He just
talking a lot
hates
of trash about
FC
them.
Dallas.
I think it's gonna be a
Nothing
difficult test for
Dallas.
this team. I think it's gonna be difficult. I think it's gonna be a draw, but they're gonna prove me wrong. And let's see what the injury. Let's see what the injuries are, and
Yeah.
and who's going to be available. Is Amador able to play? Ronnie going to be in that position? Slish is he going to be out? Real quick, who do you start? Do you if he's out?
Let's, oh gosh.
Just real quick, just one person. You got to replace him. Just one name.
Fortune.
Okay.
Simple as that.
Okay, hit the credits.
Yep.
Hit the credits. You've been
way to
trying to
end
hit
the
the
show.
credits. You've
Bye,
been trying to hit the
Michael.
credits. Just hit the damn music.
As you wish.
Waive the fees, Garth Longer. Waive. I have to say something dumb.
Someone say something.
I'll say something dumb.
Wait, no,
the
you.
other night, I was watching wrestling, and they were overseas. So I think they were in London for that, and they were singing to Roman Reigns, whatever the song was. I was about 2.5 gummies deep. I'll see if Tina has the recording. I think she recorded me, but I was changing the words to Atlanta United like things, and I was like, "I hate you, Adam John." I was bringing up Adam John. I was bringing up every player that I don't like. It just in this song.
So many strays from you. It is wild.
Adam John?
Yep.
Oh, everybody knows why I hate him. Don't say, oh, I was so sorry for shushing you when I was with Columbus, and then you just go back and you go full heel again at the playoff game, and then you do the stupid shush thing to get all the crew fans following you. No, you're not 5 stripe for life. You're a traitor. Traitor, Adam John. But if you have a cool company, sponsor us.
Yeah. That's the less said the better about that. I'll just say that.
Yeah, I hope he doesn't have a cool company. I just screwed it for us. But I hate you, Adam John.